What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see by the title of this video, I am going to be talking about my Lasik eye surgery experience. So without further ado, let's just get right into it because I have a lot to tell you guys. So I'm gonna break this up into different sections within this video. So kind of like a pre-op, what happened during my surgery, and then like a post-op. Few disclaimers. Obviously I have these on. I have them on for a reason because I'm going to talk about it later in the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Two, my hair looks crazy in different parts of this video, so just look past that. You know, I was going through some stuff. And then three, as I always say, this is just my personal experience. Not saying everybody else's experience is going to be the same or that this is a standard, but this is kind of how it went for me. So first, before getting into like the pre-op stuff, why did I even want to get LASIK? I basically wanted to change my life. I had a friend that had gotten it and she said it was life-changing. My uncle, my godfather, he got it. He said it was successful, so I was like, oh, why not? Like, sign me up. So short and sweet, that's why I wanted it, because I wanted it. First, pre-operation. So I consider the pre-operation starting when I did my virtual consultation. I did some research just to look up like LASIK eye surgeons in my area, and I came across the LASIK Vision Institute. So this is kind of the packet they gave me that I'll talk about later. I saw that they were running a $1,000 off promotion. So of course I was like, money, 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 money. So I was like, let me just see what they're talking about. And I scheduled a free virtual consultation. I decided to do a virtual one because I was like, I am not coming in that office if the price is way too high, because I didn't tell them this, but my budget was $5,000. And the reason why it was that high is because I thought that each eye would be like $2,500. So I was like, that's my top budget. So if it's more than that, I'm probably not gonna try to get it right now. So in my virtual consultation, we just talked about different things like pricing. She talked about the procedure a little bit, asked if I had any questions. You could tell it was she seemed very natural, but you could tell it was still very scripted. Like everything she was saying, it was still kind of like salesy, but it was accurate information. I went and fact checked her afterward. So after that, I basically went ahead and scheduled my measurements appointment. She was going to schedule me to have the measurements that Thursday, but I had just worn contacts that weekend. So they did ask that you don't wear contacts for at least 1 week before going to get your measurements, just because wearing contacts changes the shape of your cornea in your eye. So I told her, let's push it back to the Monday after, because that'll be a full week. So now comes my measurement appointment. Okay, so right now I am getting gas, and yeah, I'm going to get my LASIK done. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to see if I am a good or safe candidate to get the surgery. I feel like I should be. I feel like I don't have any like underlying eye conditions. My eyesight is not horrible. I'll show you guys. I have my prescription now. My prescription is only, so my sphere is only -2 on my right side and -2.5 on my left side. And then the cylinder is -1.25 on my right side and -0.75 on the left side. I do have astigmatism, so I have the axis and diameter, but I will keep you guys posted. I don't think I'm going, oh, my gas is done. I don't think I'm going to record in there or anything, but I'll let you guys know how the appointment goes and what my next steps are. So in this appointment, basically it was a typical appointment. Like if you go to the eye doctor, it was similar things. So first I went into this one machine. Like I said, I did not record while I was in there because I'm a little punk and I'm scared to ask people to record. You go into this one machine where they have you look at kind of like a tiny red house or something like that. Basically just trying to check the prescription that was currently in my eye. I went into another dark room where I went into this one machine where you put your chin, forehead to the thing. You know, we all get scared if you have eye problems. You know, you get scared of the little puff of air. So she let me know, like, there's gonna be no puffing going on here. Just need to look through. I believe on this one, I just needed to look at like this light. I think it was like a red light. I turned my head a little bit and looked at the light, and she was taking pictures. So she would let me know, like blink a little bit in between, snap a picture, let me know, snap a picture. So she did that a few different times. Then I went over to another machine, and it was kind of a similar situation. Put my head down and kind of looked up at this light, and she was just taking more measurements. After that, they showed me kind of what my eye looked like. I wish I asked for the actual sheet, or at least pictures of it, but it's basically like a map of your eye. And it looks kind of like the ocean, like it's a big blue area, and then there were green, like land looking areas, and mine was kind of shaped like an 8 for one of my eyes. So she was letting me know that that was my astigmatism. So I did have a mild astigmatism, it wasn't too crazy, and that that would be fixed in the LASIK surgery. So that was a super good pro for me, because anytime I went to the eye doctor and I had to get my eyes checked or had to get contacts, I always had to pay more because of astigmatism, like $80 more. Like, I didn't ask to be this way. So then after that, after I get my measurements, I go into the typical, can you read these letters? Absolutely not, ma'am. I cannot read that giant letter on that screen. Like I said, my eyes weren't horrible, but it's just like when you wear glasses and you know what it looks like to see clearly, and then you take them off, or you take off contacts and then you see, okay, I'm not seeing clearly now, the rain's still here. That's like a problem. Cough attack. So basically doing the typical, you know, which looks clear, 1 or 2, 3 or 4. Do they both look the same? Basically trying to see what your correct prescription should be. So nothing out of the norm for that. It's like a typical eye appointment. So when the doctor came in, she was super, super nice, so sweet. She's also not the surgeon, but she was the doctor. And she was just asking me if I had any additional questions about the surgery and stuff like that. She let me know I was a candidate, so I was so happy. She said my eyes basically looked like great. Since I had a low prescription, I'm actually like the laser is even more accurate to get you to that 20/15 vision, which is more than 20/20. This was Monday, and she's like, we actually have some openings this Thursday. My mind was like, ah! I was like, I must do this immediately. Like, I have to. I have no other choice. I didn't even know if I was gonna have a ride to pick me up, but I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. No, I was like internally screaming, guys, I look good. I'm so freaking excited. So basically I am a good candidate. I already made my appointment for Thursday, so 3 days from now, to get my LASIK procedure done. So excited. They gave me this packet. I'll tell you guys more about it, you know, at home, but go Lex, go Lex. Go Lex. Are done. It's literally that quick. They were able to tell me if I was a candidate right on that same appointment, and then I went to talk with him about the financing, or you know, how much it was going to cost. So cost, and I have everything here so I can give you the exact numbers for my treatment. So they also had an option to have a standard laser or a custom laser for my astigmatism. Since she said my astigmatism wasn't super large or like a lot, I did not have to do the custom, that it would be taken care of with the standard, and the custom was like $600 more. So I was like, okay, let's do the standard. I trust you, doc, thanks. Like I said, they had the $1,000 off. Each eye procedure was supposed to be $2,299 a piece, so about $2,300 a piece, which is kind of where I was thinking, almost at $5,000. It was at like $4,600. And then they charge you for some of the blink preservative pack that they give you afterward, which I'll talk about, and then the eye drops. So that was $60 extra. So the total came out to $4,673. But like I said, they were running that $1,000 off discount. So I got a discount of $1,015. So my total came out to $3,658. I think that's a good one because like I said, my budget was $5,000. I was originally planning to pay everything up front, but they did have a interest-free financing option through Care Credit. I had used Care Credit in the past before, so I knew that, you know, it was a fine experience. So I was like, why not? If anything is interest-free, I go ahead and finance it even if I have the money, just because that can help bump my credit score, because you can have exceptional payments if you have the money and you just continue to pay it. So I'm like, let's go ahead and do it. I don't have to pay all that money up front. Let's do it. So Care Credit is going to be sending me my card and everything to let me know what my monthly payments are, because it's a 18-month payment, and they did cover everything in full. So 3,658 divided by 18 is probably going to be like about $200 a month, which that is perfectly fine with me, instead of having to pay $3,600 up front, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's everything with the cost. Pretty straightforward. So they gave me this packet after I left, and it gave me information on the doctor. It gave me kind of like what I needed to do before surgery. All of that stuff had my surgery plan, basically so that I knew what I was signing up for. Gave me some information on what the actual procedure is like. So I know some people don't want to look up YouTube videos and stuff on what the procedure is because it's a little crazy. And honestly, I probably wouldn't do that either. So to prepare, basically continuing to not wear eye contact lenses. So I knew not to do that. You needed to pick up your medication beforehand. So they prescribed me lorazepam for basically anxiety to make sure that I stayed calm because I didn't want to freak out, which I'll get into that. I still did, kind of. So making sure you pick that up ahead of time, and they let me know when to take it so that I didn't take it too early or too late. Making sure that you eat ahead of time and you wear comfortable clothing to the procedure. So pretty straightforward, nothing crazy that I had to do. So I was feeling pretty good. So surgery day. Yeah, on the way there, just, you know, I felt really relaxed. I was talking to my mom, just taking in my last moments as a four-eyed queen. All right, you guys, so my mom is taking me to the surgery center to get my Lasik done. About the procedure, I'll just talk about the procedure. This guy, his experience by the numbers, he's performed about 85,000 laser procedures. More than 600 eye doctors have come to him for their own Lasik procedure, and he's trained more than 1,000 surgeries in Lasik. So he's lectured in 24 countries on the technology as well. He's very reputable. So the procedure only takes about 5 to 6 minutes for each eye, and patients are routinely surprised at how much faster and easier the procedure was than they expected. The actual laser to create the corneal flap only takes 13 seconds. You don't see, feel, hear, or smell anything during the quick process. So I like that he wrote out everything that you would expect to happen. And he also said that he'll talk you through the whole process and kind of what you're supposed to see, what you'll smell and hear, and things like that. Some people say they smell their flesh burning. Ma?
Huh?
I'm talking to you.
Y'all
should see her face. They said do not do any drugs or drink any alcohol 24 hours before either. For you guys out there that do those things.
Partake in those type of activities. Not that we're judging, but just for
yeah, because my mama
procedure.
love to drink some Moscato. She'll drink that thing down, the whole bottle. I like Moscato too.
That's my
I like Moscato too. Some things that I was thinking about, I don't know if I told you this, Mom, is I don't know if I'm gonna feel like exhausted from seeing all the time. Whereas, you know, when you take off your glasses, at least you get a break. But I don't know if my eyes need a break because of my glasses and because of my contacts, you know? And that they just feel like, oh, so tired. So I wonder if seeing all the time, if I'm going to be like, oh, I just want a break. I want to close my eyes and not be able to see clearly right now, you know?
Well, if you feel like you need a break, just, you know, take a rest. Like, take a 20-minute, you know, power nap or something. Rest your eyes. Because sometimes you need to rest your brain and everything.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you guys, so we're headed there. Gonna get things popping. I'm not gonna film inside there because I didn't ask them. I know certain places they'll allow you, but I just don't want to ask, and I don't have anyone with me to film. So I'll just show you guys what I'm looking like after the procedure and tell you guys how it goes. Okay, so like I said, I didn't film when I actually got in there, but basically I just signed in. They told me to take one of my lorazepams and that I could take one later, so I took it. And then when it was time for me to go back, they took me back to this back room where they gave me a hairnet, and they gave me a little bit more information, as well as this green baggie. So in this green bag, it had my sunglasses, it had some of my Blink preservative stuff. It also had this little baggie, which contained some more post-op information, my medicated drops, as well as my goggles for nighttime, which I'll talk about. But yeah, so she gave me this, just talked me through everything again, and got me ready. Got all my hair in my little net, and then took me back to that room where you look at all the letters again. Basically, they asked me again to like read off letters in that room just to, I guess, double check my prescription that it would be what it should be. From there, I went into the waiting room, got ready to go into surgery. So now the actual surgery. I wasn't really feeling nervous like I normally do, but I think my body was still reacting the way I normally do when I get nervous. Like I didn't feel my heart rate feel, you know that feel when you get anxious and you like, your heart feels a little tight? I didn't feel that because I felt relaxed from maybe the lorazepam, but my body wasn't as relaxed. So I was a little bit worried about that because I was like, okay, I'm still extremely aware of what's going on and I know the type of person I am. I overthink. Do not do that because you might end up doing what I did. So when it's time to go into surgery, the doctor is super, super nice. Like, I loved him. He was, as I say, he just has really good bedside manners. He talks you through every single process. He has a great personality. He makes you feel comfortable. I lay down and all of this was super fast. Lay down, the first eye he did was my right eye. So the first laser, there was 2 lasers. There was one laser to create the flap. So it basically is gonna create like a corneal flap on your cornea, I guess. And then the second one injects the laser with the prescription. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but that's how I took it. They have all the information here. If you want me to do another video actually like going through the information, let me know, but there's lots of videos on YouTube about it. So the first eye went fine. So I couldn't really see anything. So he lets you know he's very generous with the eye drops. So he put a lot of numbing eye drops, and some of them were getting trapped in my eyelashes a little, but like I feel like enough got into my eye. So I couldn't really feel my eye, but I still could feel like I was trying to blink. So I was kind of getting nervous because I was like, what if I try to blink and close my eye? Remember that. So the first eye, they use this like clamp to keep it open, and then they put this like little suction thing, and he, like I said, he's talking you through the whole thing. But I'm also trying to concentrate because all I have to do is look at this white ring of lights and then let him do the magic. So he puts on the suction, you'll feel some pressure on your eye, and then it like, there's one that will click in place, and then everything will go black. And then it just was like a laser, like zzz, and that was like perfectly easy, fine. I didn't feel anything, nothing, but like it just was like kind of like a little hum, and it was perfectly fine. So I'm like, okay, that's it, like okay, I can do this. So then it's my left eye. My left eye, I think, has always been my problem eye. It's a little bit, you know, not as strong as my right eye. So the left eye, I'm like, okay, I just did it, I know what it's like, there's nothing to be scared about. So he's doing it, and he goes to put the suction on, and it starts beeping, and he was like, okay, that beeping means that you're trying to close your eye. And I was like, gasp, what do you mean? I can't feel my eye, sir. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, sir, how do you know I'm trying to feel, or how do I know that I'm trying to close my eye when I can't feel it? And he's like, if you feel like you're about to close your eye, like just, you know, lift your eyebrows, because that'll help you open it. So I'm like stretching my eyebrows out as much as I can, trying. He's like, perfect, perfect, you're doing perfect, perfect, you're great, you're perfect. And I'm like, But I was like freaking out because I'm like, am I about to mess up the surgery where this thing is about to zap the wrong thing? Because I'm trying to close it. It's like, there's no escape. You're trying to force it out of your eye. And I'm like, why am I the problem child? This is supposed to be easy. We got it over with. He was like, perfect, sweetie, perfect. And I'm like, okay, doc, thank you. He was like, you are gonna have a little bruising. Dun, dun. Because I had seen YouTube videos of some people get, you know, little red dots from bruising, and I was like, dang, I hope I don't get that, but it is what it is. So, spoiler, that's why I have my glasses on right now before I reveal it to you. So then you get scooted over to the next laser, and right now you just kind of see bubbles, I guess because it created the flap. And it was kind of like hazy, I couldn't see anything. So I move over to the next one, and I look into a green light, and it's a blinking green light. All you have to do is look up into it, and then they'll do the laser work. So I feel like I did pretty okay with that part of the procedure. I didn't move or anything. So when I got up, he was just like, you did great, perfect. That's his word, perfect. He was like, but like I said, you will have some bruising on that left eye. And I was like, was that from me moving? He was like, that's from doing all of this. And I was like, no. Basically, after they did that laser, he just basically kind of brushed over my eye to get all the bubbles away with some like wet, like liquid. And then that was it. And I was like, I was seeing pretty clear. It was a little hazy, but like you could tell that like I could see clear. So I went back with the lady doctor, and she took off my net, and she just gave me my post-op stuff again, and was like basically, we'll see you tomorrow morning, because that's when I have my next checkup. Then I left, and I got in the car with my dad, and I at that moment was a little sad because I had not looked at my eye yet, and I expected the worst with the bruising, and I felt like, dang, I failed. Like, this was supposed to be easy, and I was a problem child. But I was like, whatever, like, I'm just excited to be able to see. So my dad brought me Tylenol PM, and I went home, took my Tylenol PM, and knocked out. Literally, I fell asleep at like 5, woke up at 4 the next morning, like 4 a.m. And then I put in some drops that morning, and that's when I looked at my eye. And I'll insert a clip of that next morning. Morning, you guys. It is one day post LASIK surgery, but I'm going to show you guys what my eyes look like, because like I said, I got bruising on the left, and it is pretty bad in my opinion. But I can see, I woke up this morning, everything was like and really clear, so I think it was a success. My eyes don't feel bad or anything today. Yesterday, as I was healing overnight, I could tell, like, when I wasn't completely asleep, my eyes were a little burning. Like, you could just tell that they were working to heal. That feeling was not new to me, because sometimes whenever I would get dry eyes, my eyes would feel like that, and then I have this like eye patch thing, and it felt that same sensation of it just kind of like doing something. So hopefully when I go today, they say my eyes look good. I think they're going to check my vision to make sure that the prescription works, but let me show you guys what my bruise looks like. Okay, I'll show you guys my bruise. I have a big bruise on my eye from my vessels popping. So after that shot, so that was Friday morning, I went to my follow-up appointment that morning, where they basically just recheck your eye to make sure that, you know, nothing is inflamed, you don't have any wrinkles. They said that it was healing beautifully and everything looked good. I re-looked at some letters again just to check, I guess, the prescription of the eye. And they were like, that's pretty impressive, because I was reading some of the 2015 lines and it was just day 1. So when I go back for my 2-week post-op appointment, hopefully I'll have even more like clear vision. But confirming, like literally right when I woke up, it was a new world and I could see way clearer, which was crazy to me because it's like immediate results. So I definitely think it's worth all of the pennies, especially if you have a higher prescription and you're still a good candidate. I definitely think that it's a great investment, especially when you're younger in age. They do say that you might have to wear reading glasses as you get older. So I think if you're already older, maybe your eyes might not be as great of a candidate. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I was pleased. So that's kind of how my experience went. I'll show you guys now what my eye looks like. This is now Sunday. It's now day 3. If this grosses you out, you know, you don't have to look. I'll give you a 3-second warning before I show you guys. 1, 2, 3. So this is what my eye looks like when you look at it straight on. Not horrible. You just see a little bit of red. Nothing crazy. But sis, when you look down, so much. Or when I look to the side, it's so much. So I do feel like it's getting, I don't know, I can't tell if it's worse or better. Like, I feel like it's not like that like pinkish look means it's healing, maybe. I don't know. They did say it's gonna take probably 2 to 3 weeks before it gets better, but there's nothing I can do. I basically just have to wait on it to get better. I'm not really concerned. As long as I can see, I'll take the bruise. It is what it is. Battle scars. The doctor was telling me, he was like, if anybody asks about your bruise, just tell them you were misbehaving, so the doctor beat you up. And I was like, sorry, this ain't funny. I'm gonna walk around with this big old bruise on my eye. But no, it was fine. Other post-surgery things, as far as like bathing and basically how to upkeep yourself. In that one video, I said I have to wear this indoor and outdoors. I actually don't. I asked them that. They said make sure I wear it all outdoors for the next week or 2. But indoors, not so much. That's more so just if you feel like your eyes are being sensitive to the light. I work on the computer for my job, like basically 24/7. So I will be wearing my computer glasses that I have over there, or maybe these, who knows. But put in my medicated eye drop. So I believe that they have some type of steroid in it, they said. It is kind of like a yellowish tint to it, and it did cause some crusting when it falls out. So not sure if you would have the same one, but 4 times a day I use this one. And then they gave me some Blink Tears. I don't really like the packaging of this one, honestly, but they gave me some of these. I have to use these every hour because your eyes can get a little bit dry. So it basically just helps with the comfort and the healing. So At night, I wear my goggles. I also wear these in the shower just because I don't want to mistakenly get water in my eye. I can't go swimming for the next 2 weeks, and I can't get water in my eye for the next 2 weeks, as well as wear makeup. So basically not rubbing my eye. This protects me at night. So yeah, you guys, that was my experience all in one video of, you know, my initial thoughts after LASIK. I definitely feel like it is 100% worth every penny. I love that I'm able to see. I know I was saying in one of those videos, like, am I gonna be exhausted from being able to see all the time? Still working on that, because I just feel like at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I gotta take my glasses off or take my contacts off, because my mind is conditioned to think like, oh, you're still being able to see right now? Absolutely not. Take them out, because we need to have blurry vision before we go to sleep to know that we didn't sleep in our contacts. But that's not my life anymore, which is crazy. So crazy. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about my experience or anything that I talked about in this video, make sure to comment it down below. If you made it to this point, comment with some eye emojis, because we got laser eyes now. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already, and turn on your post notifications to be updated every time I upload. I do have some videos that I need to be editing for you guys today. I know I was working on my garage makeover. I've been doing other DIY stuff. I did some other makeover stuff. So I have a lot to show you guys, and I know I've been inconsistent with uploading. I want to do better. Now that I have good eyes, I will be better. That was my excuse. I didn't have good vision before. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.